Alright boys, let's be real. When you first jump into Raid Shadow Legends, the biggest headache is figuring out which champions are actually valuable and which ones are straight up food. And trust me, I've been there. While I was working on my Kale to get him to my first level 60, I made some pretty random decisions. Ended up using some really solid champs as upgrade food without even realizing they were valuable. Painful lessons, man. But today, we're fixing that. I've put together the top 5 epic champions that you seriously want to look out for, so you can make smart choices and not waste away game changers. And yo, quick heads up, if you haven't downloaded the game yet, or you're thinking of starting a new account in Raid Shadow Legends, this is literally the perfect time to do it. Check this out. Download through my link, and you'll kick off with one of the craziest starts ever. You're getting Michelangelo as a 7-day login reward, Elenaril as your sign-up legendary, and if you slap in the promo code Demon Slayer, you're also grabbing Tholen Fallbeard, plus some ridiculously powerful epics sprinkled in as you level up. Basically, your account is stacked right out of the gate, so even if you make a few questionable calls early on, your roster's still gonna be cracked thanks to those beasts. Alright, enough stalling. Let's jump straight into it. Before we dive into the list, let me just say this. Everything I'm about to share is based on my own research, community suggestions, and the advice of some experienced players who really know this game inside out. Now here's the thing. Raid has so many game modes and so many different team setups that almost every champion has some value somewhere. That means you can't really guarantee that one specific champion will be the absolute best in every situation. The game is just too complex for that. So instead of chasing a perfect champion, lists like this are here to help you understand the value of some of the most popular and reliable champions in the community. Basically, it's a guide to make your choices a little easier. And here's a tip for beginners. If you're ever confused about whether a champion is worth keeping or just food, use the ratings feature in-game. It's honestly a lifesaver. The ratings will show you exactly where a champion shines, whether they're great in campaign, dungeons, arena, or if they're just not worth your time. That way, you'll know if a champion is a hidden gem for your roster, or straight up food for upgrading others. With that out of the way, let's jump into the top 5 epic champions in Raid Shadow Legends that are considered the most valuable in 2025. Number 5, Deacon Armstrong. Bruh! If you've been sleeping on Deacon, wake up. This dude is literally one of the most valuable epics in the entire game, and it's not even close. First off, AoE decreased defense. And not just that, but on a 2-turn cooldown thanks to his cheeky extra turn mechanic. That's insane. Pair him with any nuker, and you're deleting waves before they even know what's up. On top of that, he's got turn meter control on both ends, fills your team's meter while dropping the enemies. That's literally free speed tuning without needing god-tier gear. Oh, and don't forget the speed aura in all battles. Yeah, not just dungeons, not just arena, everywhere. That alone makes him an auto-include for so many accounts. Deacon isn't just good, he's account changing. If you pull him early on, trust me, you're eating good. Number 4, Stag Knight. Now listen, if you've ever had trouble controlling bosses or keeping enemies in check, Stag Knight is your guy. Don't let that goofy deer helmet fool you. This dude is a monster when it comes to debuffing. His bread and butter? That AoE decreased defense plus decrease attack. And here's the crazy part. It's on just a 3-turn cooldown. That's some legendary level consistency packed into an epic. Decreased defense makes your whole team hit harder, while decreased attack shuts down incoming damage, basically doubling your survivability. It's like having a built-in insurance policy every few turns. But that's not all. His A1 slaps on decreased speed. And if you've played Raid long enough, you know how broken speed control is. Whether it's Fire Knight, Dark Fae, or even arena fights, slowing enemies down gives your squad the breathing room to dominate. Fire Knight's shield drops easier. Dark Fae's clones don't cycle back around to destroy you. And in dungeons, mobs just feel like they're walking through quicksand. The beauty of Stag Knight is how plug-and-play he is. He doesn't need insane gear, he doesn't need to be booked to the moon, and he doesn't require fancy setups. You drop him in a team, and suddenly everything just feels smoother. More control, less damage taken, faster runs. Bottom line, Stagnite is one of those epics that feels like you're cheating when you get him early. He's basically a Swiss Army knife for debuffs, and that utility will carry you deep into late-game content. Number 3. Ursala the Mourner. Now listen. If you've been around Raid long enough, you know that support champs can literally make or break your account, and Ursala the Mourner is one of those champions that can completely carry you through some of the hardest content. Her kit is just stacked for keeping your team alive. First off, she's got one of the best revives in the entire Epic pool. Not just bringing your team back, but she brings them back buffed. I'm talking about throwing on Strengthen and Increase Defense for 3 whole turns. That's insane value because your freshly revived champs don't just pop up to get clapped again, they actually come back tankier and ready to fight. And she's not done there. Ursala also brings an AoE decrease attack, which makes enemy hits feel way lighter, plus an increase attack buff for your whole squad. So she's giving you defense and offense in one move. That's straight up game-changing utility. If you're pushing through campaign, dungeons, Doom Tower waves, or even dipping into arena, Ursala makes it all smoother. She just gives your team breathing room when things get messy. That mix of reviving, buffing, and weakening enemies makes her a huge progression tool, especially if you're not stacked with legendary revivers yet. Basically, she's the kind of champ you slot into your team, and suddenly fights that felt impossible before are actually winnable. She's one of those glue champions that holds the squad together, and that's exactly why she earns this number 3 spot on the list. Number 2, Geomancer. Alright, if we're talking about epics that punch way above their weight class, Geomancer is basically the poster child. This dude is straight up unfair when it comes to boss fights. His whole kit is built around turning the enemy's strength against them. The big thing? His passive. Anytime the enemy tries to do damage, Geomancer just says, "Cool story, bro," and reflects insane amounts of it right back thanks to his HP burn mechanics. So, instead of you panicking about big boss slams, you're literally watching the boss burn themselves down. It's hilarious and busted at the same time. And it doesn't stop there. Geomancer also brings an AoE decrease accuracy, which is huge utility against some of the nastier bosses like Hydra and Dark Phase Chimera heads. Lowering their accuracy means way fewer debuffs landing on your team, which buys you way more survivability. The beauty of Geomancer is that he's not some crazy gear hog either. You don't need god-tier artifacts to make him work. Give him some solid accuracy to land his debuffs, a bit of speed so he's not snoozing through the fight, and boom, he's already cooking. That accessibility is what makes him such a universal pick. Arena? He can mess around there. Doom Tower? Absolutely. But where he really shines, where he straight up becomes a cheat code, is against Clan Boss and Hydra. Watching him basically delete bosses with their own damage is one of the most satisfying things in Raid. So yeah, when it comes to boss slayers, Geomancer is sitting near the very top. The utility, the damage reflect, the ease of building him, he's just too good. That's why he locks down the number 2 spot on this list. And finally, locking down the number 1 spot, we've got the absolute queen of wave clearing, Seer. If you've played Raid for any decent stretch of time, you already know how disgusting she is. This champion doesn't just clear waves, she obliterates them in ways that even most legendary nukers can't keep up with. The secret sauce? Her skill Karma Burn. This thing is basically a giant red delete button. She rips all the buffs off your team and converts them into straight up nuke damage that just wipes enemy waves clean. Dungeons, Doom Tower, Faction Wars, doesn't matter. If Seer is in your squad, waves disappear in seconds. Now here's the wild part. It's not like she's some fragile, niche champion either. When paired with strong buffer champs, Seer scales to ridiculous levels. Bring in someone who stacks your team with a ton of buffs, like Mausoleum Mage, Lydia, or even a budget option like Spirit Host. And suddenly Seer is dropping numbers that make even legendary damage dealers look like they're playing on easy mode. What makes her so vital is speed. Late-game players rely on Seer to turn dungeon runs that used to take forever into smooth 30-second farming machines. She is basically the engine behind almost every late-game speed team strategy. You want fast dragon runs? Seer. You want instant ice golem clears? Seer. Doom Tower waves giving you headaches? Guess what? Seer. The truth is, once you unlock her potential, it's almost impossible to imagine farming without her. That's why she's not just good, she's essential. She sets the standard for wave clearers in this game, and that's why Seer sits comfortably at number 1 on this list. And there you have it. The top 5 epic champions in Raid Shadow Legends that are absolutely worth holding on to. Look, I know a lot of people get distracted chasing shiny legendaries, but honestly, these epic champs are the real backbone of your account. If you build them right, they can carry you through dungeons, faction wars, Doom Tower, Hydra, literally some of the hardest content in the game. And hey, this list is only the beginning. Consider it the warm-up lap, because the top 10 epic champions video I've got coming next, that one's gonna go even deeper into the pool and break down the champions that can straight up change your entire game. If you thought this list was hype, just wait. Make sure you're subbed and got notifications on so you don't miss it. Now, quick reminder, if you haven't downloaded Raid yet, some insane epic champions to round out your squad. That's basically 3 legendaries right out the gate, before you've even started grinding. Trust me, hit the link in the description, claim your rewards, and dive in. And I'll see you in the next video where we'll break down the top 10 epic champions in Raid. Until then, peace.